All right, team, we are joined by the one and only Dinesh D'Souza. He is, of course, a columnist, author. You've seen him on TV. He's been in the conservative media game for some time here, my friends. He has a new book out. He's a best-selling author. He's got a new one, United States of Socialism, Who's Behind It, Why It's Evil, How to Stop It. Very timely, in fact, this book comes out now. Dinesh, great to see you.
Great to be on the show. Hi.
All right, so let's just get into it. We're already hearing, we had Governor Inslee saying that this is the real opportunity. He's monomaniacal about climate change among the left's agenda items. That's the one thing that he always talks about. Others are talking about forgiving loans as a racial justice issue, universal basic income. How do you see, you've got a book out on socialism right now. How does the left leverage this moment of crisis, unprecedented spending, and fear to push for some of these socialist agenda items that they've wanted for 100 years?
Well, let's see, how do I begin here? First of all, I think coronavirus has given us a window, a kind of foretaste of what socialism looks and feels like. My wife is from Venezuela. She's been telling me now for years about the empty shelves, the limits, the rationing. But now we've seen it. We've seen it here in America, even if on a temporary basis. We've also seen the other signature move of socialism, the attack on civil liberties, the invasion of privacy, the attack on religious liberty, freedom of assembly. And now, as you say, the left is trying to use fear as a pretext to do all kinds of things that they couldn't do otherwise. See, Marx didn't think you would need any of this. Marx thought that socialism would come because the working class would become so discontented that it would revolt. But the left has now figured out that's not going to happen. The working class actually has it too good. They're not going to revolt. We need climate fever. The world is ending. Or we need the virus is going to kill you if you don't do all these things. So they have become specialists in manufactured fear to make people do things that in calm and sober moments we never would do. So they're trying to get socialism ultimately here through a panic.
And what do you think? And we're speaking to Dinesh D'Souza. He's got a new book, United States of Socialism, Who's Behind It, Why It's Evil, How to Stop It. What do you see, for example, just in the latest Pelosi grab bag bill, this HEROES Act? There are all these things that they're trying to fund. Which one of the Democrat socialist agenda items do you think is we're in the greatest danger of falling into as a result of this coronavirus? If you had to focus in on one, where you're like, they're really going to put the resources into this one in every sense.
Well, I think the greatest danger comes from the fact that when people over a fairly extended period of time are used to sitting on the couch and doing nothing and getting money for it and getting money on a regular basis, suddenly they realize, wait a minute, this is actually a pretty comfy lifestyle. I have more time to spend with my family. I can play Frisbee in the yard. This whole notion of me having to go to work for 8 to 10 hours a day and get pretty much the same amount of money is beginning to look kind of unappealing. So ironically, I think the left is relying on kind of the habits of lethargy setting in on people so that what the left is proposing is more tempting. Before this, people might go, well, how's that going to work? How can a country function when no one's working? Well, we see how it's functioning now. And so the left has the illusion that we can function like this perpetually. It's a temptation for people. And that's probably the best thing going for the left right now.
And it seems that the extension, for example, they're already looking at pushing some of these unemployment benefits that for a lot of people, especially people who are making around $40,000 a year or less than that, they make more money staying home, and that was intentional. That's not an unforeseen consequence of this. They want to extend this now into 2021. So do you think that is the argument for a universal basic income going to essentially become, well, we're spending trillions of dollars and taking care of all these people. Why don't we just keep spending the trillions of dollars and make sure everybody has everything they need?
Yes, the measures we've taken are so extraordinary. First of all, we've never done, I don't think the world has ever responded this way to any kind of epidemic. These are, you may almost call them wartime measures. They're measures that are taken in extraordinary circumstances, and they're not sustainable. I think deep down people do know this. The other thing I want to highlight is that, you mentioned things like the efforts to give money to illegal immigrants, or the idea that we need to keep a racial count of the minorities being disproportionately affected by the virus. We need to have diversity commissions now on corporate boards. Even the idea that somehow calling it the Chinese virus, the Wuhan virus, is somehow racist. It's important to see here that we have a new twist on socialism. It's socialism married to identity politics. See, Marx's socialism wasn't like that. For Marx, the world is divided into two groups. They're basically the working class and the capitalists. That's it. But for socialists today, there's a race divide, there's a gender divide, there's a divide between straights and gays, there's a divide between legals and illegals. And so the whole strategy of the socialist left is to cobble together a democratic majority of aggrieved victim groups. That's how you get to 51%.
Hey, Team Buck, thank you so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you like this video, please click that little thumbs up button so then it will log as liked. And also, if you want to see more great content from The First, please click subscribe.